Scholars, welcome to the counselor's office. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor. Yes, here we are in our lovely studio. I'm just trying to show it off to you guys. Technically, I don't even need the green screen. I could just do this normally. Have a normal background with the table and the lightings. Like, I don't really need this, but I'm also still working on the sound, the mic. I'm trying to work on the gate so it's not echoing as much. Bear with me. I don't know how it's going to turn out. So, yeah. But anyways, I want to give a shout out to everyone for liking and enjoying Luke Smith coming back. I know that video yesterday surprised a lot of people seeing Luke. Thank you for the love and the support. Thank you for the new subscribers. Listen, I know there were some of you that were a little upset. You were a little disappointed because you felt like the State of Destiny left a lot of questions and some things you really want to hear from. So I asked for a favor, and Luke Smith came back to give this video for you. So enjoy. Hey guys, Luke here from the Destiny 2 team. I know I'm already back again, but the State of Destiny 2 that we released the other day has left many of you with some very important questions that I do feel like we can't simply ignore or just send out as a simple tweet, or to dedicate an entire tweet on and not actually provide valid answers to your long-standing questions. So I'm taking this opportunity, thanks to Mr. Gaming Counselor, to answer some of those questions, okay? One of the biggest questions that came from the State of Destiny was why? Why does Marasov now have a penis? And the simple answer is, we're tired. We're tired of all the fan art. We're tired of the emails asking for a Mara sex scene. No, we're not going to show you an animated clip of Mara having sex with Shax. It's not happening. We've also seen people ask for refunds. That's over delivery. When you buy Destiny and Destiny content, you are signing in blood to sell your soul. No matter how much you rage, no matter how much you throw a fit, we own you. With that being said, we're going to be excited to talk more in June about how we're going to continue to milk and dime you for every last penny. See you, Starside. All right, and that was Luke Smith. We appreciate him stopping by the studio. It's really nice of him, which, by the way, we should be running the green screen. Hopefully it turned out okay. Again, new lens or different lens. I changed the lens for different distances, and it also, weirdly enough, the lighting affects the lens differently too. So I don't know how this is going to turn out with the color optimization and the green screen. So bear with me. This is all trial test. By the way, hit that like button, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel for more. I always appreciate you guys. Ring the bell as well if you want to get notifications, because YouTube is weird. Sometimes it won't alert you about my videos. But we're going to talk about the delay, the big O delay that seems to get everyone, everyone's in crisis mode, even the content YouTubers, because they're going to try to spin it and they can't. Many of them are given up on trying to spin this whole situation. Others are now just blaming the Destiny 2 community for being insufferable and act like Marathon is better, even though 90% of the dudes on Marathon are Bungie fanboys anyways. It's really weird where we're at right now, but we're going to specifically not focus on that. We're going to focus on actually the delay and what it actually means, because if you actually know Bungie and how they word things, it's always intentional, right? They're also very vague intentionally. So we're going to jump in, we're going to read it, and then there's a couple other tweets that I do want to cover, especially DMG, who did give a follow-up that wasn't included, but we do want to talk about. So I'm going to try to read through it and then go back and kind of dissect it and give you more information. As someone who's dealt with this company for 11 years, 13,000 hours in this game at this point, or this genre, this franchise. Yeah, so I do have some things to say. So let's jump into it. From the Destiny to the game. Our next major update, Destiny 2 Shadow and Order, is undergoing large revisions and will be delayed. This update is being changed and expanded to include sizable quality of life updates. As a result, will also be renamed. This update will now launch on June 9th, 2026. We will provide exact details closer to releasing, covering previously announced weapon tiering upgrade, but also additions like expanding tier gear to all raid and dungeon activities, Pantheon 2.0, tier 5 stats for exotics, armor, and more. Through June, we will continue to have routine bug fixes and stability improvements, continued portal modifiers, Guardian games in March, and the return of a more frequent Iron Banner cadence in April. In terms of communication, we will be focusing on providing you with updates about our live game content, community activations, and general upkeep through the TWID and our Destiny social channel. Thank you for your continued patience and support. We will have more information on your next major update and future plans for Destiny 2 closer to launch. See you, Starside. Can we just, before we do any dissecting, can we just say how tone deaf it is to say see you, Starside? You'd be lucky to even see half of what you have right now and by June, right? We could just, I will talk about two different things in a minute, but just that's very tone deaf. Now, I want to talk about the delay in general before we dissect what they said. The delay. I have said I would be okay if Bungie said we're going to delay, we're going to take a season to fix things. I'm okay with that. The problem is a twofold problem. One, which is kind of, we have to address the elephant in the room. There's two elephants, but this one's a more obvious elephant. Bungie's the reason why they have to do all these revisions, these quality of life changes, because we had the same jargon in Edge of Fate when they decided to revamp the entire game, trying to make Destiny 2 into Destiny 3, which did not work. They started all this fire. I'm not going to give you a praise like, good, thank you, Bungie, for fixing the shit that you did. Like the whole thing about upgrading raids and dungeons, I will say I'm glad. That is a good thing. The raid and dungeon content is some of the best content, and it's also paid, right? It's paid, but I'm not going to praise you for something that should have never been soft sunset, something that shouldn't have been abandoned. Like, you started the fire, you're putting out the fire. I'm not giving you a medal for being a hero. So none of this is, I'm going to praise you, which there are parts of the community that are like, oh, Bungie, you're the best. Oh my God, let me suck your dick. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not going to give you that praise. But the second thing, and it's the biggest thing, this delay is not for our benefit. I'm going to fast forward. We'll come back to this tweet in a minute, but I'm going to fast forward to Paul Tassi, source update. I can tell you right now, the answer for the roadmap delay is not because we added more to the roadmap. Now, that's talking about the roadmap in general, but I think this whole situation with no roadmap and the overall delay to Shadow Order, that whatever that's going to be called now, because it's not going to be, I guess, Star Wars themed. That's not going to, the idea that they're going to be cooking and making things, adding more to it, that's a fallacy. You've got to stop and think, how many seasons would we have by the time we get to June? We would have already had an expansion. So an expansion should have released. Technically, by previous cadences, we would have had multiple seasons. Based on what they said, if we go to down where it talks about June, all we're going to expect in both April, March, and June is a couple modifiers, Guardian games, which I swear to God, that last year Guardian games was actually decent, especially with the boss rush mode. I swear to God, if we don't get that, I'm going to lose my fucking shit. And then Iron Banner, which we have yet to get any clarification of why we couldn't be using some of these dead weeks with more than one Iron Banner. Because if it's Trials, I can tell you now, with how bad Trials is right now, unless you're going to fix Trials, no one's going to miss taking a week off. Trust me. I'm just saying right now, which we'll get to PvP in a minute, because I think PvP players are just absolutely livid, because none of this addresses the ongoing issue. In fact, let's just talk about that. When they talked about what to expect all from March, April, there's nothing about doing meta changes, nerfs, updates. It's almost as if we are in Destiny 1 right now, where Destiny 1, the meta is as is perpetually. In this case, we're waiting until June to see it change. But I think PvP in general, like, we are seeing such a diminish in returns that I think we will see Destiny probably finally dip down below, especially on Steam, below the 10K. Like, we've been lingering. We might actually see within 24 hours below 10K. We might see 9K. If we see 5K, I mean, I don't think anything of these changes will bring people back. And I know that's Steam, but again, Steam gives an overall trend thanks to popularity chart. We know that overall we are lower currently population wise than anything in any time of Curse of Osiris. It's bad. Then we look at, like I said, the dungeon stuff is great. Again, that should have been a thing from the get-go. DMG just does kind of give more detail on that. We'll get to that tweet in a minute. I'm looking through again. Pantheon 2.0 sounds great. Now that I think about it, outside of maybe the tier loot, which I don't know how that's going to play out, the portal system actually might go really well with Pantheon. Honestly, I think the scoring system would be better than whatever it was beforehand, but I don't know. We'll have to see. But I'm glad to see Pantheon 2.0. Tier 5 static exotic armor, something that they said they couldn't do for some reason. They couldn't make even tier 3 exotic armor. Again, I'm beating a dead horse on that. It's just some of the stuff is so weird that it is being delayed. By the way, nothing we've read. Another observation that someone has to say out loud. The other elephant. Oh, I forgot about the other elephant, but this is another. There's many elephants in this room. We're just like, where is it at, man? Nothing. Why is this delayed? Why was it that we got information about this delay from a YouTuber and a journalist who have friends at the company? Why is it that they could tell us about a month ago, but Bungie couldn't just say, hey, we're delaying? Because nothing here is like the information could have been told 5 months ago and it wouldn't have changed anything. It really wouldn't have. So, and I don't think there is a pro gamer, pro community, pro consumer reason for why it was delayed communication. It's all corporate, and it all ties to Marathon, which goes to the final elephant in the room. The reason why this delay really is happening is not for the benefit of Destiny. It's for the benefit of Marathon. Bungie is putting all their eggs in the basket. They're focusing all attention. And don't let anyone who was like the cult of Bungie try to say, oh, you're just hating. You guys. Blah, blah, blah. I think these people are trying to do their best to villainize the Destiny community. It's very obvious that Bungie is trying to make sure that Marathon pops off. And Destiny is the unwanted stepchild right now. And it does suck. Because nothing that they have shown needed to be delayed, like announced delayed. It was all for the benefit of Marathon. And the delay itself is for Marathon. So when you think, oh, Bungie's cooking, they're not cooking as in they're going to add more. They're delaying because they want all hands on Marathon right now. So keep that in mind. I mean, in terms of communication, essentially the communication is, hey, we're just going to have DMG tweet random shit and do a twid that won't have anything new for the next foreseeable months. So we'll see you next time. That's pretty much it. And they said that they won't talk about it closer to launch. So you might as well just not look at twids anymore until June, because they're not going to provide any valuable information until around June. Like it's just going to be Marathon. Okay, DMG, I guess this was in Discord. Bungie has shared some information details on the tiered gear for RAD activities coming with the June update. Our current plan is to upgrade armor across all RAD content to the tier system, Weapons from dungeons will also be tiered starting in June. As for raids, crafted variants of weapons already exist. To alleviate those while embracing the power of tiered weapons, we'll be upgrading crafted versions and adapt variants with new perks and ways to enhance columns to match that of tier 5 weapons. So essentially, they are going to make it to where this leads me to believe that the portal system is not going away. Tier system is still gonna, if you didn't like tiers, they're here to stay. I have a tinfoil hat. This with Pantheon and them trying to bring all raid up to date, we could see a potential Age of Triumph where this is the final hurrah for Destiny 2. We could. They kind of did this for Destiny 1 where they uplifted the raids. It's very possible that they do that for Destiny 2, but not in a cool, unique way. This is more of like, here's your loot. Again, here's the kind of stuff that you're gonna expect, and this is what you're gonna see for the foreseeable future. Just kind of wrap up this video. DMG said, we noted yesterday that TWIDs would be more focused on community activations in-game calendar for a bit, which implies nothing burgers. So we're gonna just do things to try to bring hype and community investing, even though the community is divesting. During our somewhat quiet time, yeah, are there any activities you'd like to see challenges for? Dungeon runs, raid challenges are always fun, but would love to hear from you. And of course, we'll let you know when we're ramping into more news about the June update, which means you won't talk about it till June. Again, I don't blame DMG, except for the moments where he's gaslighting people, but the past couple of months, or at least a couple of tweets, he hasn't necessarily gaslit people because I think he knows the ice is thin, and unfortunately he really is the jester for Bungie and the punching bag, because no, they're not throwing him a bone or anyone a bone. But we've got a perfect reply that I think summarizes how the community feels, especially about this whole process. Because again, I do think that taking time to improve the game is great, but they're not addressing PvP. They're not addressing bugs and other main issues. They're not addressing anything of like substance that the community has talked about for the past year. They're just putting out the fire. Like there's other things besides the fire they started. There were other previous fires that needed to be addressed, and they've yet to address it. And now we want to play nice and act like everything's all fun and dandy. Guys, don't you want to do community challenges for an emblem for a game that no one's playing? Isn't that great? Guys, we're happy-go-lucky. Everything's fine. So we got a response from Oz Burke, genuinely asking, what even is the point of this question? The future of Destiny is uncertain. There's no clear roadmap. Quality of life changes that should have shipped during the Edge of Fate era are still in development. Player counts are likely worse. They are. They are worse than Curse of Cybers. And you're here asking about challenges. You seem to have forgotten that you're running a live service game, one that used to be your cash cow, now running on fumes while Marathon goes full berserk across every social platform with ARG campaigns, community activations. Meanwhile, the Destiny community is being treated like an afterthought. You have talked about rebuilding trust repeatedly, and yet every action since has been a step in the opposite direction. Abandoned content cadence, broken promises, and now a delayed release justified by major quality of life improvements. The same quality of life improvements the community has been asking for months. It's if not years. Nobody is buying it anymore. You didn't just lose credibility, you burned it. I'm not angry. I'm not even disappointed. I simply don't care anymore. And that is far worse than that's far worse than any backlash. Every friend I had in this game has already moved on to other titles. The servers aren't dying. The community already left. I think that's a perfect sentiment. Like, there's going to be, again, don't listen to certain content creators. They're going to gaslight you. They're going to sit there and say, you guys are the problem. Like, just call them a shit eater and move on, right? That's all they are. They're shit eaters. They're useless. They provide no value. They're gonna sit there and piddle off into oblivion. Listen, I still like Destiny. But yeah, I mean, at this point, less and less people will give a shit. At this point, it's more entertaining to see the fire and watch the fire burn. At this point, I'm done trying to give solutions. I've said what they should do. We all know what they should do. I could sit here and make videos how to fix Destiny. Who doesn't know how to fix Destiny? The Destiny developers know. That's the thing is, at this point, armchair game development, we could probably do a better job, like, honestly. And based on the fact of the amount of mods and the unique games that people make in games like Halo, Fortnite, Skyrim, and all these other single player games, we no longer live in a reality where you could say, oh, you guys think you can do better? Yeah, there are people that are literally doing a better job at developing Starfield. Someone made an entire Star Wars game out of Starfield. Yes, there are people who can do a better job making games than AAA companies. So we no longer live in this reality. You can absolutely be a armchair dev. It's just frustrating. And we'll look at everyone's actual unique thoughts overall, because that's just a nice little thing to put on it. But nothing about this delay is for the benefit of Destiny 2. It's just to push us off to the side. We'll worry about you later. If Marathon pops off, people think, oh, that'll be great for Destiny. No, it won't. It doesn't matter if it does good or does bad. Destiny is now the afterthought, because Bungie didn't know. Anyone with eyesight can look at the trend, can look at the chart and see that Destiny is at the end of its life. Destiny 2 at least. And if they have not started working on a Destiny 3, they're not going to. Marathon is their tunnel out. The only feasible way to exist is Marathon. For my people out there, the Guardians out there who've been like me, who've been through it all, this is the worst of times that we have ever seen in Destiny. I don't know if I will actually come back. I don't know if I'll actually come back. This might actually be it. I might lose complete interest in Destiny. I might go to Destiny 1, because apparently that's getting more players now. Like PvP is actually filling up, which is crazy. But I mean, there are so many good games. Like, I started playing Helldivers, and I'm glad I did. Division 2 looking spicy, might try it out. And then apparently Division 3's like, there's a bunch of games out there, and single player games that are out there that are waiting for me to play, that respect me and my time, and you and your time. I don't know. I don't want Destiny to die, but Bungie does. And unfortunately, until Bungie has the passion to see it thrive, at this point, it's nothing you and I can do. We can just react to it and, use it as a popcorn popper, which is what I plan to do. It's just, I will ride the Titanic till it goes down, reporting on it, having a good time with some popcorn. And then once the ship's sunk, well, that's it. Which is a good thing that we're talking about other games and we're trying different things. So, yep. That's all I got for you guys. Hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. As always, I'll see you in the next one. Game out.